The future is digital. Everybody is talking about future skills, everybody's talking about future jobs, but oftentimes when you talk to an average child that's from a so-called township, too many of them meet the computer when they get to tertiary, and that's not okay. We need to make it okay. We need to just make it normal for programming and coding to be a part of what is offered in the townships. I am Kelebogile Molapiane, the founder and CEO of Africa Beyond the Fourth Industrial Revolution. In short, we call it AB4IR. AB4IR is a gaming and animation hub. It's an incubator. We're based in the Tshwane South Tibet College in Mabopane. Why we started it was to literally bring resources to the youth in the townships. How we're helping the community is literally bringing the resources to the people. We are a digital incubator. We have access to facilities. As you can see, there's always startups that are here. We give them the Wi-Fi. Internet is an issue in the townships, so we make that possible for them. Access to the technology, access to equipment, access to training, access to information. We literally are trying to get them involved in this so-called 4IR. What will make our way to greatness is responding to that powerful quote where Gandhi says, "We must be the change that we want to see." I grew up in the township. There was never anything like this. I worked in so many places. I traveled and I saw, and I decided to create the change that I wanted to see for the youth in the township. So our vision is to create a pool of entrepreneurs drawn from disadvantaged communities that will be global players. That is the change that I'm bringing. That is a change that I want to see. That's a change that I'm creating, and that's what I want to be remembered for.
All right. Well, welcome everyone, and thank you to all of you for joining us today. We're very excited to be here. And Dumelang Batho ba Lesotho. Welcome to you all in the room, and welcome to everyone online as well. First, I would like to thank all of you for joining us, but most importantly, thank our esteemed guests, Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, Business Development, and Tourism, and their Principal Secretary and colleagues. Thank you for joining us today. Our partners, the World Bank Think Room, the Innovation Bridge, got it, the Innovation Bridge and CSIR team, our speakers, judges, and of course, all of our guests. But most importantly, thank you to our entrepreneurs for joining us today. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules, everyone, and being here to really just witness our amazing entrepreneurial talent across sub-Saharan Africa, but most importantly today in Lesotho. So I hope that you enjoyed the videos that we just played. That was just a sneak peek into the entrepreneurs we have supported in our Grindstone Accelerator program. So before I continue, my name is Nongleba Kwabazi, and I am the program director for Grindstone X at the Grindstone Accelerator. And I'm honored to be here and excited to be here as your MC for the day and really just taking you through today's program. As we kick off, I know some of you have already started with this, but it would be great to see who is online in the room. So please introduce yourself and let the rest of our attendees know who you are, where you're joining us from. Drop your LinkedIn profile, let's connect. But please do utilize this space and try to network today and engage. As we sometimes say, from pitch to success, it really just starts with all of these spaces and network building. So this week, we have witnessed the talent and entrepreneurship greatness of our Namibian and Eswatini small businesses. But today, we are going to be showcasing Lesotho. And I know a few of our attendees that have attended both of our previous events this week. But for those of you that are new here, over the past year, a lot of work has been done behind the scenes, really supporting our entrepreneurs so that today we can be here proudly hosting them and celebrating the immense work that has gone on in preparing for this day. So the Innovation Bridge Portal, an initiative of the South African Department an initiative of the South African Department of Science and Innovation, supported by the Department of Small Business Development in South Africa, in partnership with the World Bank Group, Think Room, and other national ecosystem supporters in Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, and Namibia, have all come together really to host the series of hybrid events to showcase the entrepreneurial talent from these 5 countries. And over the next 2 days, we will be sort of wrapping up with our last events. But for today, we are meeting Lesotho. On Tuesday, we met Namibia. Yesterday, we met Eswatini. And so we're continuing with the 3rd celebration of our events for today. And over the past year, a flagship initiative of the IBP has been partnering with the Thinkubate Academy, powered by Think Room, which has enabled the cohorts of young entrepreneurs to receive tailor-made solutions to help them in their early stage business development. And this has been done through, completing online learning, but also receiving practical support from mentors, as well as other support partners in order for them to prepare for their business journeys, but also for their pitch readiness today. So almost 115 entrepreneurs from Botswana, Eswatini, Lesotho, Namibia, and South Africa have benefited from the program to date. And the top 30 plus of those entrepreneurs have been showcasing their ventures through these pitch events this week across the different regions. And so we're very excited to be seeing this collaborative and consultative approach being adopted really to establish this entrepreneurial mentoring program together with some other partners. And so today we will be seeing the pitches from our founders that have been supported by the program, with the panel of incredible judges representing ecosystem support initiatives across the region. And each startup will have a few minutes to pitch with some questions that will come from our judges. And our first prize winner today will receive uncapped internet for their business for 24 months with landline connection with a dedicated number for their office, as well as a domain, website, and email hosting services, all thanks to the sponsored prize by Vodacom. So thank you very much, Vodacom, for this. Our second prize will also be uncapped internet for the business for 24 months, as well as domain and website hosting, again, sponsored by Vodacom. So thank you very much. I know the excitement and anticipation for today and seeing our entrepreneurs is really building. I'm seeing a lot of activity in the chat as well. So of course, let me just quickly share some house rules before we begin with our program. So again, please share where you are joining us from. Turn on your cameras if you can, if you do have the bandwidth. But let's continue to engage and let's see who's behind these black boxes on our screens with just names. So please do switch your cameras on for interaction if you're able to do so. Please also make sure your microphone is muted at all times if you are not speaking. But just for a brief overview of what you're in store for today, we will hear our welcome remarks from Chaba Mukuko from the Government of Lesotho's Competitiveness and Financial Inclusion Project. We will then hear our opening remarks from our World Bank partner, hearing from Yoichiro Ishihara, the World Bank country representative. And we're delighted to be joined by the Honorable Minister of Trade and Industry, Business Development and Tourism, Mokhethi Shelile, who will be our keynote speaker today. So thank you very much for joining us today, Honorable Minister. And yes, I know you're all here for the entrepreneurs. However, before we get to them, we will then also take a minute to acknowledge and hear from our unsung heroes of this event, our amazing partners who have put in countless hours and endless cups of coffees and meetings to really make this a success. So we'll hear from our partners, the World Bank Group, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research, the CSIR, as well as the Thinkubate Academy. And we'll be hearing these from Ganesh Rasagam, the World Bank lead of private sector, as well as Michelle Harding, the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research as program manager, as well as Catherine Young, the Think Room Consulting founder. And after that, we will be hearing from Resetse Litswe Teko, the director of Mammoth, who will be sharing more about their journey as an entrepreneur in Lesotho, and really just their strides to this day. And of course, then the reason we have all gathered, we will then be hearing from our entrepreneurs who will be pitching today, and then hear some feedback from our judges who will take a moment just to deliberate. We will use that as an opportunity to interact with you. So please do expect some interaction between us and the audience. And then once we hear our feedback from our judges, we will then be able to find out who our winners of the day are. Following that, David Monkman will then join us to share more about the way forward, sharing more from Kathy as their Entrepreneurship Hub program manager. And it is always great to hear the actions coming out of these engagements. So we're really looking forward to that. And then we will hear from Thabo Moleko, the Principal Secretary from the Department of Trade and Industry. And last but definitely not least, we will be hearing our closing remarks from the World Bank Operations Manager, Asmin Khan. So ladies and gentlemen, let's get excited and amped for our great agenda today. And to kick us off today, I would like to welcome our welcome remarks from Chaba Mokuko from the Government of Lesotho's Competitiveness and Financial Inclusion Project.
Thank you very much, Program Director. Thank you very much, Program Director. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to pay my respects to His Majesty King Letsie III, the Right Honorable the Prime Minister, Honorable Ministers, in particular, Honorable Minister of Trade, Industry, Business Development and Tourism, Mr. Mokgethi Shedile, the Principal Secretary of the same ministry, Mr. Thabo Moleko, the World Bank Country Representative, Dr. Yoichiro Ishihara, and also the TASIM leaders of the CAFI project, Mr. Ganesh Rasagam, Mr. Michael East, heads of government agencies and parastatals present here with us, senior government officials from both South Africa and Lesotho, academia, private sector representatives, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We are greatly honored by the presence of the Honorable Minister of Trade, Industry, Business Development and Tourism, Mr. Mokgethi Shedile, and the World Bank Country Representative, Dr. Ishihara. Their presence is a clear testimony of the commitment of both the government of Lesotho and the World Bank to youth entrepreneurship, as well as job creation in Lesotho. A special welcome to our South African colleagues and counterparts from the Department of Science and Innovation, as well as the Center for Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, and the Department of Small Business. We cherish the warm and cordial relations between our two sister countries. As you all know, our ties are underpinned by our unique geographic location, as well as our common history and rich cultural heritage that we share. One can even argue that this pitching event, the Innovation Bridge Portal, as well as the Thinkubate initiative, is a significant or represents a significant effort towards implementation of the Binational Commission of Cooperation between Lesotho and South Africa, which is a framework of cooperation between our countries. It was signed in November 2022 to foster collaboration between the two countries in order to improve the socioeconomic condition of the inhabitants of the two states. The pitching events also represent a collaborative effort to strengthen the regional entrepreneurship ecosystem, which would eventually contribute to private sector development and economic prosperity of our two countries. We will also welcome our counterparts from Botswana, Eswatini, and Namibia, who are part of this novel initiative. This is indeed a positive step towards stronger regional collaboration and integration, which would foster sustainable growth in the region, especially within the SACU region. We welcome all the guest speakers and judges Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for your generosity. I think I should just point out that yesterday I had a meeting with the High Commission of South Africa, and the High Commission affirmed its commitment to supporting collaboration between the two countries in the areas of commercial horticulture and entrepreneurship. They have promised to organize a series of events where they'll bring together players from Lesotho and South Africa at the High Commission to foster this relationship. So there is that willingness and political will between our political players to ensure that they support this initiative. Finally, I would like to welcome the 7 brilliant innovators who will be pitching this morning. Please feel free to give it your best shot, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we welcome you all to this historic event, which I believe it is indeed historic because it's bringing the two nations together for prosperity of this sub-region. Thank you very much, Program Director. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Chaba. And thank you very much for those insights, but also just sharing more around the collaborative approaches across the two regions. I think in sub-Saharan Africa, it is very important for that political will, as you mentioned, to really be utilized smartly, but also for the collaborative partnerships to happen smoothly between private and public sector partners. So thank you very much for sharing that, and we will definitely be in touch to find out more about that, as well as the events coming up as well. But next up, we will be hearing from Yoichiro Ishihara, who is the World Bank's country representative for Lesotho. He is a macroeconomist with a broad operational expertise, apt technical skills, and rich client experience across various regions, and has worked in the policy department in Washington, D.C. on development effectiveness and results management. So we're very eager to be joined by you today, and thank you very much. I will be handing over to you after the short introductory video.
Okay, thank you very much. Dumela po melapon date. And I'd like to welcome those who are joining and physically in this room to the World Bank office in Marseille, and also who are joining online. And for me, these 2 weeks are private sector development. And I've been having a meeting with the senior government officials, and including Honorable the Minister of Trade and Industry, and also other people. And yesterday, there was another event that I joined. It's about the youth development and also gender assessment issue. So among many issues, and we discussed about the private sector development and how to empower the female entrepreneurs, and also how youth will be able to become entrepreneurs, and how we could support. So that's why, and this is like a private sector development weeks for me. And from the World Bank, and we have very strong commitment to support private sector development, and especially for job creation. So now, and we are in the final stage of creating so-called a country partnership framework, and with the government of Lesotho. And this is a 5-year framework, and how we would be able to collaborate and with the government of Lesotho. So one of the main items that we put is private sector development. Not surprisingly, private sector development, and especially for job creation. So this shows our strong commitment and how we will help private sector development. And at the project level, so now everyone is talking about competitiveness in the financial inclusion project, and we keep calling a KAKI project. And this is a center part of our support at the project level. But not only this project, and we have other projects supporting private sector development. And for example, we have renewable energy project, and which provide an electrification of some industrial zones. And those who are from here, and you must have heard, and the SADC, smallholder agriculture development project, which supporting smallholder farmers on agriculture development. But given the importance of the agriculture sector here, and it's important to provide a specific support to agriculture sector. And I'm not able to mention all 12 active projects, but almost all projects are linked with the private sector development. And my last part is that, yes, project is there and opportunity is there, but unless these are implemented, and we will not be able to get the result. And this especially applies for a CAFI project and competitiveness financial inclusion project. And we are trying to establish an entrepreneurship hub and also other support. So let's work together to implement, not only having a project, but implement that project. By doing that, and we will get a better result. Okay, thank you very much. And thank you very much, everyone.
Great. Thank you very much, Uechara, and thank you very much for those insights as well. I think the theme here definitely will be around those collaborative public-private partnerships and ensuring the success of the entrepreneurs across the region. So really liking that so far. But next up, we will be hearing from Honorable Minister Mokhethi Shelile, who is the Minister of Trade and Industry, Business Development, Tourism. The minister's responsibilities include, among other things, overseeing issues related to creating and maintaining an enabling environment for business development, trade, investment, tourism, cooperatives, and industrialization for private sector-led job creation and poverty reduction. So we are very looking forward to hearing this address, and thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for joining us today. And I will now hand over to you.
Okay. Good morning, everybody. I'm learning this giving of speeches while I'm seated. I hope it's okay. Let me first of all start by paying my respects to His Majesty King Letsie III, the Right Honorable the Prime Minister, the President of the Senate, the Speaker of the National Assembly, His Lordship, the Chief Justice, the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister. There's something. The Right Honorable Minister or Honorable Ministers, the Principal Secretaries, the World Bank Country Director or Country Representative, heads of government agencies and parastatals, senior government officials, academia, private sector representatives, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, some of you, my colleagues, thank you for coming. Distinguished guests, it is my great honor to address you at this momentous occasion as we showcase Southern African entrepreneurial talent. I want to start by congratulating all of you dedication to develop and promotion of entrepreneurship and innovation in Lesotho. I also want to thank the Competitiveness and Financial Inclusion Project, CAFI, and the World Bank for their support in making this event possible. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, the CAFI project was launched on the 3rd of April 2023 in Maseru, and we are proud to say that it is already making a significant strides. This project aims to increase access to business support services and financial products targeted at micro, small, and medium enterprises and entrepreneurs, especially women and youth. It also aims to build the local private sector, which is key to creating jobs and promoting sustainable economic growth. The CAFI project is building on the successes of the private sector competitiveness project and economic diversification, which closed in June last year. The PSC project made significant impact in many areas of investment, climate reforms, and economic diversification in line with key performance area 1 of the second National Strategic Development Plan, which is enhancing inclusive and sustainable economic growth and private sector-led job creation. I am pleased to report that the CAFI project is fully aligned with the current administration, which is committed to delivering tangible results. The project is already working with the Ministry of Information, Communication, Technology and Innovation, and other key stakeholders to improve service delivery through upgrading technology, developing government-to-business systems, interoperability framework, and implementing a government payments gateway. These efforts will significantly reduce the cost and time of doing business in Lesotho. The CAFI project also aims to enhance the entrepreneurship ecosystem and improve access to early-stage financing for youth and women-owned innovative businesses through the establishment of Entrepreneurship Hub and a seed financing facility in Maseru. The hub will capacitate up to 15 enterprise support organizations who will incubate a total of 500 innovative youth and women-owned enterprises. Additionally, we have the Lesotho Enterprise Assistance Program, commonly referred to as LEAP, to help MSMEs expand their operations and diversify their products. The grant will also support skills enhancement programs developed jointly by the private sector and public and private training providers. This program will target technical, supervisory, and management skills in export sectors and high potential sectors, including digital platforms. The CAFI project is also supporting SME participation in high potential value chains, including digitalization and innovation, the textile and garment industry, tourism, and horticulture. We are committed to revitalizing and transforming our ailing textile industry to make it globally competitive, as this is one of the biggest beneficiaries of government support. We have seen significant job losses and investors closing shop in Lesotho to relocate to other more attractive investment destinations. The CAFI project is designed to reverse this trend and ensure that the textile industry in Lesotho becomes globally competitive once again. Finally, I'm pleased to report that the project team will be working with the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning and the Disaster Management Authority to strengthen the resilience of our micro, small, medium enterprises to climate disaster and shocks. We will achieve this by developing a disaster risk financing policy, establishing an MSME financial resilience fund, and procuring sovereign insurance to protect MSMEs from shocks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are gathered here today at the World Bank office to witness and celebrate the Novel Bridge Portal IBP event, an initiative supported by the World Bank Group and national counterpart in South Africa, Botswana, Eswatini, and Namibia. Today, we showcase young Lesotho entrepreneurs that have gone through the Thinkubate Academy, an initiative developed by Think Room. The IBP and entrepreneurial community was launched in May 2022 as a digital regional entrepreneurship community to assist underserved entrepreneurs in facilitating access to relevant business support services and increasing their opportunities to access early stage finance, markets, and innovation. As others do, the government of Lesotho sees a major opportunity to strengthen collaboration and networking across the national ecosystem and increased opportunities for private-public partnerships through initiatives like this. Over the past year, the IBP initiative, in partnership with the Thinkubate Academy, has enabled cohorts of young entrepreneurs to receive bespoke solutions to help in their early stage business development. They received online learning and practical support from mentors to prepare for pitch readiness. Considering our own commitment to establish a robust entrepreneurial culture in Lesotho, as we near the inauguration of our own CAFI-enabled entrepreneurship hub and seed financing facility. It is my pleasure to bring together today Basotho entrepreneurs, business support organizations, investors, academia, and other ecosystem actors to provide more than a casual audience. We wish to celebrate our brothers, sisters, and young adults in their aspirational pursuit of a brighter future, both for themselves as well as for Lesotho. We humbly request that as a nation, we should take heed of their example and come together to conspire for their success and future achievements. As mentioned, the ministry's efforts, including that of CAFI project, are fully aligned with the second National Strategic Development Plan, which has identified the importance of entrepreneurship, innovation, and targeted investments that have potential to create sustainable jobs in the country. This intervention is also aligned with the National Trade Strategy, which places emphasis on developing and improving production as a source of income and a path towards increasing job opportunities for women and youth. The strategy further highlights the need for appropriate infrastructure, business skills, and a conducive business environment for development of horticulture. Ladies and gentlemen, the need for inclusive and resilient economy has indeed necessitated the need for CAFI project. The World Bank has supported various private sector initiatives in this country, and this is by far the biggest intervention towards creating a competitive private sector in Lesotho. Our partnership with the World Bank will continue to grow from strength to strength as we jointly implement a similar noble initiative. As we implement our own entrepreneurship hub and seed financing facility, we will concurrently be reviewing Lesotho's investment regime and startup supports infrastructure. The outcome of the process will be an enabling investment policy, legal framework, and a coordination system that will improve investor confidence and make Lesotho an attractive investment destination in the sub-region once again. In conclusion, I want to reiterate our commitment to creating an enable environment for entrepreneurship and innovation in Lesotho. We believe that entrepreneurship and innovation are key to creating jobs and promoting sustainable economic development. I want to thank you all for your dedication to entrepreneurship and innovation, and I wish you all the best as you showcase your talent at this event. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you and every one of you for honoring our invitation. With these few words, I invite us to honor the competitors in today's innovative Bridge Portal event, showcasing Basotho entrepreneurial talent. It is my pleasure to announce that let the games begin.
Great. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. And yes, of course, let the games begin. And I am very encouraged to be hearing really just around how the government of Lesotho and your partners really are working and protecting SMEs in this current climate, particularly your early stage SMEs, as well as those in underserved communities. It is very important for us to be creating a conducive environment. And so we are very encouraged and excited to be seeing the support being provided to the entrepreneurs in Lesotho, and to those that are on the call and the entrepreneurs pitching today. I hope that does give you sort of a boost of confidence in just the support that is around you currently, but also the work that is being done to provide access to early stage entrepreneurs such as yourselves. And so now we are going to be hearing from our partners who are really the stars behind the scenes. So they may not be pitching their businesses today, but they really are the ones who made it possible for all these entrepreneurs to take the stage. So first up, we will be joined by Ganesh Rasagam. Ganesh is currently a lead private sector specialist at the World Bank. And Ganesh, I will hand over to you.
Thank you, Noni, And good morning, Honorable Minister and my friends in Maseru, colleagues, entrepreneurs. Good morning from Babane. I think, Minister, you took the words out of my mouth. I wanted to make a few introductory remarks as to why the World Bank is supporting this initiative. And you said it very well, that it's about supporting entrepreneurs in bringing the whole ecosystems together of the 5 countries who support the entrepreneurs in the region. The genesis of this program is really diagnostics carried by the World Bank, which identified that some of the major challenges that entrepreneurs face across all 5 countries is the lack of access to quality support, incubation support, skills, access to early stage financing, networking, mentoring, and coaching, and most importantly, the need for them to support each other, to learn from each other, and to be inspired by each other. So that's sort of the genesis for why the World Bank got into a partnership with our partners from South Africa, Department of Small Business Development, Department of Science and Innovation, and CSIR. And then we have our wonderful private partners, Think Room, who very generously made available the Thinkubate licenses to Thinkubate Academy. And after more than 2 years, we are now at a stage where we have this first cohort of entrepreneurs who are pitching today. And so it's already taking life, because when we saw the participation, the first event was on Tuesday. It was Namibia focus. Yesterday was on Eswatini. At both these events, there were participants from the other countries who were engaged in the program. So this regional cross-fertilization and regional integration is already taking place. And I'm really happy to see that even today, we have participants from Botswana, we have participants from South Africa, from Namibia, and so on. So without adding on to taking more time to speak about this, let me introduce Michelle Harding, who's the program manager of the portal, who present the portal, and then Catherine will talk about the support for the entrepreneurs through the Thinkubate program. Thank you. Michelle, over to you.
Thank you, Ganesh, and thank you, Noni. And just also a very warm welcome from my side to everyone joining virtually and in person. This is such a fantastic opportunity, and I'm just extremely happy to be able to do this presentation today. And so I want to start off by just giving a little bit of background and some of the objectives of the Innovation Bridge portal. I think all of the speakers before me have touched on so many really important and relevant points, and to showcase the role that we envisage the Innovation Bridge portal also to play. So the portal started a while back with the Department of Science and Innovation wanting to create a platform where they could showcase publicly funded research and development, innovation and technologies. And we were very fortunate that in 2021, we started working with the World Bank Group. And as Ganesh mentioned, there's so many reasons: fragmentation in the ecosystems, not a lot of the ecosystems in different SACU countries that actually work together, not a lot of linkages, lack of data, etc., etc. And this just all motivated for an online community for entrepreneurs across the SACU countries. And so we did a whole lot of very hard work with Ganesh and team and Think Room, and then were able to launch an entrepreneur community on the existing Innovation Bridge portal last year of May. And on our way, we also picked up a few partners, the Department of Small Business Development, etc. And this has really now brought us to 2023, where I can say with big exclamation mark that we are scaling and wanting to create a platform that is a SACU-wide support platform for our entrepreneurs and innovators. And this really speaks to that digital ecosystem. as the Innovation Bridge portal, the plan or the idea is not to duplicate what anyone else is doing in the ecosystem. And therefore, we partner with partners such as Think Room, but rather creating that one-stop shop of information where entrepreneurs can find their way. And this brings me to really the essence of what it is that we want to do with the Innovation Bridge portal, is to create a journey and a road for our entrepreneurs to accelerate their journey. There are so many, I think entrepreneurs, it's difficult for them to find good quality, relevant opportunities and information exactly at the time that they need it. So if you're looking for funding, if you're looking for export opportunities or mentorship, and you go onto Google and you start to Google, you could sit with 20, 30 websites or options that you have to work through and try to engage, but what would be best suited for my business, for me, without necessarily even knowing what it is that I need next. And that is the crux and the big thing that the Innovation Bridge portal wants to solve, is to say that we take an entrepreneur and an innovator on a journey, and we provide them with good quality, relevant information on what's happening in the ecosystem that's matched to their profile, so that they can much easier and quicker find their way, find support, find funding, etc. And so I thought of just including this slide. It's a little bit, it's what's currently happening in South Africa, but scaling through partnerships. And I think that is so important. It really speaks to a lot of what was said today, is partnering. And scaling through partnering, really how we see it happening is, first of all, around data. So I've just mentioned here, like these are Department of Science and Innovation, government departments. We now have a partnership with the Company Intellectual Property Commission in South Africa, the World Bank Group, and everyone sits with a lot of relevant data, and wanting to create that uniform database and reporting that would really inform policy reform, that would inform decision-making, and getting a holistic picture of what is happening in the entrepreneur space in a country. And then secondly, as partners, we come together around creating that support for entrepreneurs. So different role players and partners would provide different services. Or CIPC works around compliance and support, Department of Small Business Development, red tape reduction, etc. And bringing that together and handing over the baton to each other, so that the entrepreneur does not have to go and re-engage in different places, register with different people, but we handing over that baton and really taking the entrepreneur on a journey. And then lastly, integration, joint events and initiatives, exactly such as the event that we have today, looking at sharing data, integrating systems to make it easier for the entrepreneur. And then obviously we also make sure that our partners get an opportunity to provide strategic input into our planning and into objectives of the Innovation Bridge portal, and creating efficient support and access through partnerships. So this takes me then just to quickly a bit of a snapshot or view on our Lesotho partnership. We have been, busy with a few things and a few engagements in Lesotho. Last year, October, we had our first information session in Lesotho, and I was privileged to actually attend in person. What a lovely country, people with a lot of energy and extremely friendly. So it was such a good experience for me. And then I think there's been a lot of talk around the partnership with the CAFE project, and really hoping that, this the portal could start supporting some of the objectives of the Entrepreneur Hub and CAFE project. So I was really glad to hear that it officially kicked off in April, so that we can then also start working together. Other than that, the Innovation Bridge portal is open to the Lesotho ecosystem. As you can see on my slide, there's already been some engagement from the ecosystem on the platform. And already entrepreneurs and SMEs can register and already start looking and seeing what type of matches they receive and support is available to them. And then just a quick view on upcoming things that we are planning. So we are still running ecosystem initiatives with the support of the World Bank Group. And these are just some of the challenges that would also be open to the ecosystem in Lesotho. And then very important, this again also speaks to the partnership around the CAFE project, is to look at an option to create a Lesotho-specific country view of the Innovation Bridge portal. So it would be a platform that would have branding, look and feel for Lesotho, but available to bring the ecosystem in Lesotho together, to also get that cross-pollination to other countries and within the ecosystem. And then I would really appreciate to end off my presentation with a video. When we launched the entrepreneur community last year, we created a video that explained a little bit of the portal. We did a facelift of the platform, and it went a little bit into detail around really, as an entrepreneur, when you register, what it is that you can expect and see on the platform. So if you'll allow me, I will end off with this video and just give me a moment to share.
Introduce you to the improved Innovation Bridge portal. In this video, we will present our new entrepreneur community and share more about our expanded vision. The portal has been enhanced with responsive design, improved navigation, search functions, and a fresh new look. The non-for-profit open innovation platform brings entrepreneurship ecosystem stakeholders together for the benefit of innovators and entrepreneurs, and seeks to become a one-stop shop repository of information, opportunities, and network connections to help entrepreneurs and innovators along their journey to success. The Innovation Bridge portal is an initiative of the Department of Science and Innovation, supported by the Department of Small Business Development, the World Bank Group, and managed by the Council for Scientific and Industrial Research. The Innovation Bridge portal gives you access to a database of relevant ecosystem initiatives, such as calls for funding applications, to industry challenges, events, and others. Once registered, you will be able to upload and expand your portfolio of relevant information to easily apply for funding opportunities or tackle challenges through the portal. Our vision is to become the ultimate catalyst in creating an enabling environment for entrepreneurs and innovators to thrive, thus promoting economic and job growth in Africa. We strive to always be relevant, provide clarity and direction, eliminate fear and uncertainty, be humble and attentive, be inclusive, and be proudly African. We aspire to be a dynamic enabler, opening a door into the vibrant repertoire of African innovations, entrepreneurs, and opportunities, showcasing the continent's budding ingenuity to the world. We invite you to put your country on the map. Our Insights section aims to educate and guide stakeholders to connect with the larger ecosystem. Easily access our database of articles, success stories, and interviews that address specific pain points. You will also be able to view reports on the outcome of each of our ecosystem initiatives. We are excited to introduce the Innovation Bridge Portal Entrepreneur Community. By applying step-by-step roadmap software, the entrepreneur will be guided through the tricky path, from considering their idea or business concept all the way to releasing their products and services into the market and growing their business. During this journey, we will bring all the relevant ecosystem players to the attention of the entrepreneur and ensure that they can access the precise support, investment, and mentoring opportunities that they may need. You can log into the portal by making use of your Innovation Bridge username and password or via your Google or LinkedIn accounts. After registration, the Where Are You in Your Journey widget will pop up on the screen. For demonstration purposes, let's click on the Startup to show you how the portal works. You will receive access to your own personalized, tailored, and customized content-based dashboard. This includes easy access to investors, opportunities, and support based on your unique profile. The platform also matches you with relevant technologies or innovations that you could utilize to grow your business. Through a strategic partnership with the Department of Small Business Development, you will be guided through all compliance measures, including business registration, obtaining a tax certificate, and more, via our compliance network design and integration to key government institution databases. You are also able to showcase your business and increase your exposure to the international ecosystem. To access these benefits, remember to register. The Innovation Bridge portal, your guiding catalyst along the pathway to success.
Thank you very much. And Noni, back to you.
Great. Thank you very much, Michelle. And to the entrepreneurs on the call, I do hope you were taking notes through that video. The Innovation Bridge portal is a great resource, and we do hope that you take advantage of that. But for now, I will hand over to our Think Room founder, Catherine Young, who will be sharing a few words on the partnership as well. Catherine, over to you.
Thank you so much, Noni, and hello, everybody. It's absolutely fantastic. You know, the honor I have in the room is to speak to the entrepreneurs themselves. Honorable Minister, thank you very much. Absolutely loved what you said, and thank you for your commitment to our startups and our entrepreneurs. It's because of them that we all are, and we are absolutely happy to do so. So, entrepreneurs, I'm going to ask you to do a very weird thing and just go with it. Just go with it. And now I'm speaking to you from the heart of one entrepreneur to the others in the room and online. And you will be seeing that I don't have my normal business background on today. Do you know why? Because I'm in the streets of Sandton hustling for business, right? So that's what we do. That is just what we do, and couldn't wait to get onto the call. So for the entrepreneurs in the room, if you don't mind, literally, I want you to really take these words in, and it's almost a dedication from me to you. And today, for those who were on the call yesterday, just today, I actually show the words so that we can all read it together. Hand on heart for those who want to. Honorable Minister, I know that it feels weird to sit down and do these speeches, but I'm going to be doing this. I almost want to do this standing up, but hand on heart. And I want to read this to the entrepreneurs. You've worked hard to get to this day, to the day of doing your pitches. And that's why I just want to read this to you. I believe anything is possible. I see opportunity when others see impossibility. I take risks. I'm focused. I hustle. I know that nothing is unrealistic. I feel overwhelming love. I embrace my childlike wonder and curiosity. I take flying leaps into the unknown. I contribute to something bigger than myself. I create. I learn. I grow. I do. I fail forward. I believe it's never too late to start living a dream. I am an entrepreneur. And really, from my heart to all of you today in the room, I know it takes courage. Some days we feel, is it worth it to go on? Indeed, it is. And let me remind you of that. So let me very quickly give you a quick overview of what it is that we've been working with our wonderful partners and with the entrepreneurs. We've had this program now It's 115 entrepreneurs across 5 countries in total so far, of which this particular, these cohorts that we're graduating at the moment is at about 68. And you can see the demographic split that we have. We were just talking yesterday or the day before, can't remember which call, about the demographic split for gender. Typically, there is a specific feeling in across Africa, Southern Africa as well, that we don't have enough female participation in our programs, and we really are so excited. We're not 50-50 yet, but we're really excited. This number is a good number. It's a strong number as a base to work from. You can also see the split of the countries that we've worked with. And what is it that we really did? We have a learner management system called Thinkubate, and there's just pearls of wisdom on there for entrepreneurs who really don't always have the time or the resource necessarily to go and do a lot of theoretical learning. So we've just got some of the best together in the ecosystem of entrepreneurship, and they give short videos. It's like between 5 and 7 minute videos, and teaches us from how to do marketing to strategic planning, how to do your financial records, etc., etc. And then we paired that with the help from the World Bank. We paired that with very brilliant mentors in the world, in our world, and worked with the entrepreneurs, knowing that the entrepreneurs are at business life stages that all differ. So one entrepreneur could really still be in ideation, where the others are already in acceleration and growth. And why the mentoring pairing works so well is that it can then be specific. You know, there is no way that we can give a one size fits all to all entrepreneurs, because the needs are all so different. We know as entrepreneurs that entrepreneurs need 4 things mostly: access to knowledge, which the Thinkubate LMS really helps a lot with. Access to funding is a big one, and I'm not always popular when I mentor entrepreneurs and say customers are just as good a place to start for funding as other funding. And then we get into very heavy debates, but the point is different. The point is, if you have your first customer, you know that you're starting to validate your product. So that's the point that's from. But customers are also a very good place of funding entrepreneurs, like you know, and we will forever be helping you with getting that focus. And then access to funding, of course, depending on the life stage you're in, you need funding. And then lastly, access to networks. And I really want to encourage the entrepreneurs in the room, the entrepreneurs online, make use of today, make use of this week. It's such a valuable opportunity to just present your business, to do your hustle, and just to talk about your business. You know, for every 10 pitches you do, 1 pitch may fall on ready ears. So remember that. So thank you to the coaches who've really helped us through. What was very interesting for us to see, when the startups and the entrepreneurs come into the program, they do a self-assessment and they give themselves a score. We then get the mentors to work with them and also give a score. And what is very interesting is the differences. And very often after the program, the scores fall even more, because it's then a case of, you know, then what you didn't know. And I speak for myself because I learn every single day, but then you know what you didn't know. And so over time, you know, that's saying that the best overnight success takes 9 to 10 years. That the original Twitter founder said that. It is true, but over time you start calibrating and you really start focusing on those areas where you really need to deep dive and grow the business. So in closing, on how the entrepreneurs scored themselves and how we've worked with them, we saw 3 interesting points, many interesting points, but 3 in particular, that in the beginning, the entrepreneurs score themselves about 20 to 30% higher. And then, as I said, then that dip happens once the learning starts and the networking and the introductions to potential funding and markets. And what was also another interesting finding with this particular group of entrepreneurs is that the female entrepreneurs scored them in general at least 20 to 22% lower across the different business pillars than our male counterparts. And there's a lot of work just on that itself on Thinkubate. We've just recorded some new work in terms of, how do you deal with imposter syndrome? How do you deal with conflicting priorities, specifically for our female cohorts? So please go and check allowed you have access to Thincubate for as long as you need, really. And then the key gaps are sales, funding, finance, and accounting. So in summary, across the 115 so far, and granted off small bases, we've seen increases in jobs created. So 58% increase from when the cohort entered the program to where they are now, granted off small base. Revenue increases we've also seen, and then also in terms of funding raised. In closing then, we have this saying that our work really never stops with an entrepreneur. And I'm speaking to the entrepreneurs, once you enter our world, you just will see you somehow never leave, because you go onto a database, and because we work in the African ecosystem and globally, actually, there are always opportunities that are coming up. So please make sure it's a two-way street, that you stay in touch, we stay in touch, because we want to just continue the introductions and the networking and the potential funding opportunities that there will be, as well as customer market access. In fact, the customer where I am today, I'm speaking about how can we introduce potential entrepreneurs into their business for access to markets. So watch the space. So in closing then, everybody in the room who are not entrepreneurs, they really need our support. And it's those 4 pillars of knowledge, networks, funding, and markets. And it's imperative that we do so. From a Think Room perspective, we really are access to market experts, and we can really help entrepreneurs with that. We co-own an accelerator called Grindstone with Knife Capital, who is a VC out of South Africa. In fact, they now have a global fund. But that balance works so well when we see market access and funding access working together. And then networks and knowledge, if we can help these entrepreneurs all the way, every step of the way, it really will make a big difference in their lives. So remember, and then PPPs, I love them. I love this program. It works. This is really a testament that it works. And then for the entrepreneurs in closing, hashtag keep on keeping on. There is no giving up, right? There is always another way. No turning back, and straight ahead. And thank you, Noni. I'm handing that back to you.
Great. Thank you very much, Catherine. And thank you as well for that inspiring poem. The advice I gave the entrepreneurs at our previous events is to really just print that and frame that. So if you don't mind, maybe sharing that just in the chat, Catherine. But to everyone else in the call, I do hope that does give you sort of an idea of how this partnership has worked and the different platforms and resources that have been used really to support our entrepreneurs. But as Catherine did mention, it is a two-way street. So please make sure to keep in touch. Follow the entrepreneurial support organizations in the room on social media platforms, sign up to their newsletters, and just stay in the know in making sure that you are up to date with any potential programs or support that may be coming up. But now, truly in the spirit of entrepreneurship, we will be handing over to our entrepreneurial motivational speaker, who will be sharing more about their journey building the brand Mammoth. So we will be hearing from Mammoth director, Teko, who will join us to share some inspirational words and just their journey as a successful entrepreneur in Lesotho. Interestingly, Retseleitswe is an entrepreneur with business interests ranging from financial services to construction. And after high school, he joined the army. So his experience in the army really is what he believes prepared him for the harsh realities of leadership and entrepreneurship. So we're quite excited to hear more about this journey. But Retseleitswe, over to you.
Thank you very much, Nonliva. I know my name is a tongue twister, but it's actually Retseleitswe. So maybe you'll get time to practice it. Thank you. And yes, thank you for the opportunity to share my entrepreneurial journey, and allow me to say all protocol observed. And my journey actually started with a bicycle. It started with a bicycle because when I was in primary, I used to ride a bicycle to school, and there was all this demand for rides from my peers. And the idea came, wait, I need to maintain this bicycle, and I'm tired of saying no to this one, yes to that one. So, well, the easiest way to deal with it was to say, okay, you pay. You want to ride from this point to that point to pay X, you ride from this point to the next to pay Y. So I always look back to that and say that's where my entrepreneurial journey actually started. I went to, from, just so that I give perspective, I would like to share with you my work experience post high school, because immediately after writing my matric, sitting for my matric exam, I got a job at a store in town in 1983. I was a shoe salesman at Gainstor's Halle Hakwasi. I looked around the room, and there's only a couple of people who'd appreciate Halle Hakwasi, what it is. And a year later, I went for a higher paying job, which was a difference of 5 rands in salary. And I was a messenger at WASCO, what has now become WASCO. Worked in the queries and complaints department, where I actually continued to interact with people. I was later promoted to an accounts clerk in the same company. And then I later, in 1986, joined the army. And as you have quite correctly referred to it, this is where I actually learned a lot of leadership and leadership skills, as well as where I got to have the love that I have, the patriotism that I have for my country. And it is what has basically informed a lot of the decisions that I later took, that I continue to take in life and in business. In 1990, I joined Metropolitan Life as an insurance salesman, and I was selling life insurance as well as funeral insurance products. In 1995 or so, promoted to a sales manager, and it was during that time that we investigated some fraudulent claims pertaining to, what do you call this? Fraudulent funeral claims. And therefore, we had to physically go and check out funeral parlors to make sure that those who were claimed to be dead were actually dead. Excuse the language. It was during this time that we realized that there was a gap in the market in the funeral space. So together with a couple of sales managers, we decided to go to the end of the chain of insurance, which is funeral home, funeral services. So we left in 1998 to start a funeral business. And that was Matsuso Mutsekwateko. That's where Mammoth comes from. The first 2 letters of its surname, Matsuso Mutsekwateko. That's Mammoth. And so we started this funeral home. And the first thing we did was to look for finance. We left as energetic young men who just felt that you can just walk out and get access to funding and start this company. And so we approached one of our role models at the time, who was at least 10 years in the business and who was a success. And we went to him and said, can you introduce us to your bankers? We've noticed how you're doing things. Can you introduce us to your bankers so that we can get finance? And he graciously introduced us to his banker, who unceremoniously kicked us out of his office. And that was our first lesson in business. You don't just find money hanging in trees. So we went back and said, how do we then deal with this? And by the way, the gentleman I'm referring to actually grew his company to serious heights and is now the current prime minister in this country. We then went back and said, how do we now raise this funding for to build this funeral home? We then went back and into insurance by registering an insurance broking company so that we could do what we had been doing for at least 10 years. So we went back and sold insurance. And it was during this period when we sold insurance that we came across medical aid products, and there was no medical aid product company in Lesotho operate. There were medical aid products in Lesotho, but not a company operating in Lesotho. They were all coming from South Africa. So we went and sold this product and eventually realized, why can't we do it ourselves? Why can't we open a medical aid company or fund in Lesotho? And so in 2003, we registered Mammoth Health, which is a medical aid fund, and the first and only 100% Basotho-owned medical aid company in the country. We have built this company from virtually nothing to a fund that is managing over 100 million maludi a year. And that basically means that we have been competing. We have been competing with more established companies from South Africa, some of whom have actually eventually registered in the country. We had so many other companies in between that, when you have all this energy and you see all these opportunities, we were one of the first companies in the country to offer microloans. Well, we like to say we formalized the micro-lending space, because before that, it was called loan sharking. So we did not give loan sharking loans, we gave micro loans. Just wanted to make the distinction there. We had a project management services where we financed and managed project construction projects and so on. But we later ditched all of this, and we are left with only two companies in our portfolio, which is Mammoth Health, as well as the funeral business. We like to say that we take care of our clients from the cradle to repatriation of mortal remains. So we do everything in our power to keep them healthy. But if, the good Lord decides to take them, we give them a... Thank you for completing that sentence. And those are the two companies that we have at the moment that I am still a director in. And Mem mentioned that I have ventured into construction. Yes, I have ventured into construction. I specialize in prefabricated buildings. For those who've ever been to any of the Limpopo campuses, that this double-story classrooms, prefabricated, and those were built by my company. And we have built these structures in all the 10 districts of Lesotho. And we've had to fly some to site in some of the remote areas. We've had to cross rivers to Tibelong Hospital to take material across rivers in a boat. But that is the essence of the journey that I have been on as an entrepreneur. I would like to say I sit here and I listen to the discussions, and I wish I had business at this juncture, because now people have these opportunities in terms of mentoring, in terms of access to finance, access to markets. But in all, in short, this is my entrepreneurial journey. Thank you.
Wow. Great. Thank you very much. And thank you very much for sharing your entrepreneurial journey with us, but also just, I think, encouraging our entrepreneurs. And I know you do mention how, you wish you had this kind of support at the time, but even without it, I think you did reach some amazing strides. So congratulations on all of your accolades and strides so far. And we're really looking forward to keeping up with the developments of Mammoth. And thank you once again for inspiring our entrepreneurs. So next up, we have the stars of our show, rather. We have our entrepreneurs who will be joining us, and they will be joining us to pitch for 5 minutes each. And just please be advised, ladies and gentlemen, that due to the connectivity and internet difficulties that we did experience, there may be some delays in the pitches that you may see. So please do just make sure that you are a bit patient with us if that does happen. But the entrepreneurs will each have 5 minutes to pitch, which will then be followed by 2 minutes Q&A from our judges. But before we hear from our entrepreneurs, I'd quickly like us just to introduce our judges and find out who they are. So today we have 3 judges. We have John Nsepeng and Grace joining us online. But I think we can start with the introductions from the judges in the room. So John, if you would like to kick us off with just a short intro of who you are. And you can do that shortly after this intro video. Great, thank you. If you could just take it away and let us know who you are.
I'm from GEN, Global Entrepreneurship Network. I'm the Managing Director. Thank you. It's exciting to be here this morning. Like many of you who will be presenting today, I am an entrepreneur, so you have nothing to fear. You're probably in the same space. Thank you.
Excellent, great. Thank you very much. And we also have Nsepeng joining us as a judge. If you could kindly introduce yourself.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Nsepeng Tita Dikiso. I'm the CEO and founding partner of BAM Group of Companies. I'm also an entrepreneur. We focus mainly on providing advocacy for women and youth. And we also do community building, and we also focus on capacity building, where we utilize forms like your incubation, your accelerator program. And I'm also a business development service provider. Thank you.
Excellent, great. Thank you very much, Nsepeng. And I will hand over to Grace, who's joining us online.
Thank you, Noni. Good morning, everybody. My name is Grace Lohodi. I'm an investment officer based out of Cape Town, but most recently was part of the World Bank for the last 2 years. And really, it's a great honor to be a judge here today after being part of this remarkable team and ecosystem stakeholders that have really made today possible for the entrepreneurs. So really looking to seeing what the entrepreneurs have in store for us today. Thank you.
Excellent, great. Thank you very much to our judges for those intros. We are looking forward to hearing your feedback and also just getting a sense of sort of your votes and the entrepreneurs. But now I think we can kick off and meet our cohort. And so I would like to introduce you to the entrepreneurs that will be pitching and really the moment that all of you have been waiting for. So let's meet our cohort. Lucy, over to you. Excellent. Thank you very much, Lucy. And so we will be joined by our first entrepreneur today, who will be joining us, sharing their pitch for you all in the room and everyone online. And so first we have Legacy Brands, who will be pitching and sharing more about their business. So Legacy Brands, over to you.
I am Dikenken Taba. I am the founder of Legacy Brands. Legacy Brands company is the business that preserves fruits and vegetables through trying. I'm currently trying peaches, apples, tomatoes, and other fruits and vegetables. The company is solely owned by a Lesotho woman, and it was founded in Lesotho in 2021. The reason why I came up with this business, it came to my realization that most small-scale farmers they produce, but they don't have the market at the end of their produce. So they don't have anywhere they can take their products to. So I became a middleman between the small scale farmers and the market. And the other thing that I have realized is that they produce prior the demand. And then when they have produced, they have their stock and their produce with them, and they end up being wasted away. And apart from not having the market, they produce. For instance, you find that in a household there are more than 5 trees, of which only 10% of the produce will be used, and the other 90% will be wasted away. So as Legacy Brands, I came as a gap between the consumer and the producer to reduce this way the loss that is being incurred. Apart from that, when you see when in every country, there's no country that is self-sufficient. The fruits and vegetables that we have, they are seasonal. So as Legacy Brands, because we preserve so that they can be used for future, or when they are not available on the other countries. I came as an intermediate between the small scale retailers and the consumers. And also I employ, due to high unemployment rate in my country, I employ youth. Currently I have 7 youth that I have hired that are doing my deliveries, that are hired in my production line. This is it solves the problem of unemployment. And also the seasonal fruits and vegetables are being available throughout the year. So how we do the business, we buy the fresh produce from the local suppliers, then we dehydrate it. Before the dehydration can happen, we hire some people who will collect the produce from the villages. Then on the production line for washing and for cutting, we hire, before the dehydration, we hire some for that production line, and also they dehydrate, then we sell to the final user. Our marketing strategy, I have signed a business ally with the fitness labs, grocery stores, and some hotels. And I have a steady, constant supply of the dried fruit. I ensure that I am engaged in business expos and seminars and business fairs and food fairs, so that my business is well known. Also, I ensure that in every meeting, I advertise my product as a form of refreshments. I had people who do some home deliveries. I am reliable because I use, some other companies still use the old way of preserving fruits and vegetables like sun or solar, but which takes a long time. But I use the advanced machine to do my production, and it only takes a day. My products are very low. They are very affordable because I buy straight from the local producers. I don't only try fruits, I also try vegetables. So that makes my product unique. While the competitor, you find that most of them are still home-based, and then they take a longer time because they will be using solar or other method of preservation. So currently, I am targeting other fitness labs and the small. I only occupy the small market share, and for diet awareness, everyone is conscious about what they eat. So my product is targeting those people who are health conscious. To be fully executed, I need to buy the cutting machines and the washing machine. And for me to do that, I think I need 50,000 for me to be able to buy the cutting machine and the washing machine. Thank you.
Great, excellent. Thank you very much, and congratulations on your pitch. And now we will be using our 2 minutes to hear some questions from our judges. And so I will start with the judges in the room. I will start with Ntepeng. If maybe you would like to possibly ask our first question to our entrepreneur. Just a reminder, entrepreneurs, it is 2 minutes only for you to answer your questions. So I will now start the timer for you, but Ntepeng, over to you.
Thank you so much. That was a good presentation. I'd just like to know one thing. I'm trying to define exactly what your business model is. Is it delivery to the market or is it processing? And that being the case, how do you actually reach the market?
Okay, thank you so much for the question. What I do, I buy fruits and vegetables from the farmers, right? And then I preserve it. So after preserving it, then that I am acting as an intermediate between the consumer and the producer. I take their product to trade, I process them. I think the easy way of answering that is I process the produce to reach the final business. Is it the fresh produce don't take, the shelf life is very short, then what I do, I prolong that shelf life.
Can I go ahead? Thank you. All right, so just to help us understand your competition landscape and what is it that you do to remain ahead. You talked about who you supply, but not who the competition is.
Okay, the competition. I do have the competitors. Everyone is preserving fruits and vegetables, fruits in this era that we are living in. But my business is unique in a way that I preserve fruits and vegetables. My competitors have not yet seen part of the vegetables, but Legacy Prince is now preserving fruits and vegetables.
In the last 15 seconds, what is your shelf life of the processed dehydrated fruits and veg?
Sorry, shelf life.
What is the shelf life? How many months? How many weeks?
Okay. The preserved fruit and vegetables. They take.
Our time is up. Our time is up, ladies and gentlemen. I am very sorry to interrupt you, but in the spirit of fairness, I do have to be very strict with our 2 minutes.
Yeah.
But thank you very much for the pitch, and thank you very much as well to our judges for those questions as well. We will move on then to our next entrepreneur who is joining us, and this is Enrula Home Services, represented by Tebogo Seboka. If you could play the video for us, Lucy.
Hello and thank you very much. My name is Tebogo Seboka from Enrola.com, your Uber for home services. So my purpose is, with Enrola is to provide access to market to provide credit with access to the market. So we are running this men empowerment organization where we offer business vocational training programs. So these graduates don't have access to the market. Let me tell you about this platform that we are trying to develop. So we have two universal problems, which is fragmented services and the problem with the customer. So in regards to fragmented services, we have a lack of marketing skills for these skilled professionals. They also have a problem to have access to the market. There's an also issue with security in regards to the service industry. So when it comes to the customer, there's a problem of customer with the security and safety of bringing strangers in their home. There's also a problem of reliable quality services and accountability with regards to the service industry professionals. There's also a problem with reputation and follow-up as in the service industry professionals. So we are trying to develop a solution called Enrola, which is a platform that connects skilled professionals to their customers. So we're trying to provide a social impact to these service professionals by creating employment for themselves, together with trying to be in line with UN Sustainable Development Goals as listed. Under Enrola, we have the following categories: classified as primary and secondary services under our platform. So under primary services, we'll be offering beauty, spa, and grooming services, while under secondary services will be also providing, like your home cleaning, home painting, handyman, outdoor photography, and others. Here are some of the value proposition that we'll be offering to both customers and service providers. Under customer, we'll be providing them with approved service providers, while also trying to save them time to, try to locate someone to do jobs on their behalf. So we'll also be offering some multiple payment option in our platform where customer will be able to have options to pay for the services, also be able to rate the services they've been offered. So under the service provider, this will be another opportunity to create employment for these skilled professionals. We'll also be offering more training to these young people to become entrepreneurs. There's also an opportunity for these guys to create multiple income streams, because they'll be working for our platform while they still pursue their other interests. We'll also be providing immediate payments to these service professionals, while also offering insurance and medical benefits to our service professionals. So we have identified 3 companies that our competition is. That's Plasters, Nini 24, Chaperone, Peace Jobs. So we're going to be different from these companies because we'll be providing website bookings, app bookings, online payment, mobile payment, service packages, and we're going to do background checks to our service provider while also providing 24/7 customer support. So here are some of our revenue models. We'll be generating, we'll be making money out of the commissions earning through the service professionals. So we're going to be a monthly recurring subscription to our service professional. We're going to be also providing advertising space in our website to generate advertising revenues, and also offer more further skills trainings to our service professionals, while also renting out equipment to these professionals, which will in turn make some cash for our company. So there's some risk associated with this platform, whereby there's a high chances of us losing service professionals to decline, as these people will be developing relationships as they offer their services. But at the moment, we do not have any means of financial, because we are still pre-revenue, but there's a big demand for home services since COVID. Here is my team of people that I'll be working with. It's myself, Law, and Mateko, who have a very good background in their field of proclaiming and graphic design. So this is what we are asking for. We want support and help with getting a developer who can help us develop an app. We are also looking for digital marketing agency to help us develop marketing campaign. We're also looking for mentors in technology and business management to help us with running this kind of businesses. So thank you very much.
Great, excellent. Thank you very much, Deboho. I will hand over to our judges. Again, we'll start in the room if there are any questions from our judges in the room.
All right, just in 5 words, thank you, Mike. Just in 5 words, how would you describe your solution? What do you actually provide? And follow up to that is, what is the stage of your business?
We're currently trying to develop a platform, but at the moment, only have like the service provider database. Okay, so at the moment we have like a service provider database, and we are still at trying to develop the platform that is going to host all the services.
So how would you describe, what is your solution?
The solution is to provide like a marketplace, online marketplace, to where like the service provider, your plumbers, your carpenters, your beauty therapists can come together, and the customer can also, if you're trying to look for a service provider such as painting, the painter, the plumbers can go to that platform, find everything in one place.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you talk more about your team?
My
the
team.
Experience, yes.
Okay, so it's myself. I have an entrepreneurship background. The other guy, Tabo, is a developer. Matiko is a graphic designer.
Right. And maybe just the last one for myself. Oh, go ahead.
Just a quick one, market size. Have you done an exercise on how much revenue you believe you could generate? Have you done some market sizing?
At the moment, it's very hard to try to identify the market in Lesotho, but with our research that we've done, there is more demand for these home services. Like since COVID, because people, there's this big demand for home services where you can.
All right, and our time is up. Thank you very much, Teboho, and thank you very much to our judges as well. We will move on to our next pitch, and this will be from Tethix Incorporated, founded by Tumelo Masasa. So Tethix Incorporated, over to you.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Tumelo Masasa, the CEO and co-founder of Tethix, a licensed and registered cybersecurity company in Lesotho. Investors, imagine waking up when your company's most valuable data has been stolen, systems are down, and customer trust has been shattered. This is the nightmare scenario for most organizations as cybercrime continues to increase in both frequency and sophistications. Well, my journey began when I was at varsity. I experienced a devastating first-hand cyber attack that targeted me and resulted to theft of sensitive information into my bank account. The money that I saved for me and my little brother had been stolen, which led to suffering as well as had a significant impact into my anxiety and fear. However, the hardship and pain ignited my passion to start up a company and as well to use my vision to utilize my skills as well as my expertise to ensure that I provide a positive impact into other people's lives. I'm here seeking for 30,000 in exchange of 10% equity in my company. The challenges that we came across was our national cybersecurity posture. Currently, there is no cybersecurity maturity model in the country, and it's not included as part of the national strategic plan. Cyber crimes and attacks are continuously increasing in both frequency and sophistication. Small and medium enterprises lack resources and expertise to protect themselves against cyber threats. Consequences incurred could lead to financial losses, reputation damage, legal liabilities, and hefty ransoms. So we developed a solution of coming up with a cybersecurity strategy to help organizations adhere to best cybersecurity practices. And also cybersecurity assurance through cyber prevent, cyber defense, and as well as governance. All-in-one security solutions that we provide include penetration testing that will be discussed later on, vulnerability management, as well as threat defense. Our solution is differentiated by our focus on a small and medium-sized businesses, providing them with a comprehensive and affordable cybersecurity solution that meets their unique needs. Our pricing model is flexible and scalable in relation to customers' requirements. For examples, we have penetration testing with a standard price of 8,324 that can also scale depending on the client's requirements as well as other services listed below. We provide the suite of the best services include penetration testing, where we ethically hack into the system trying to find any potential vulnerabilities that could be used against the organization. We also do information security control auditing to assist organizations to adhere to the best cybersecurity practices. Business continuity management, in case a disaster strike, a business should remain operational and it shouldn't incur any hefty or revenue losses. Cybersecurity awareness training for employees as well as other people outside to ensure about what's happening in the cyberspace. Cybersecurity incident response and forensic, in case there's been confidential information being compromised, that's where we come in and assist in engagement with the law enforcement agencies. Organization security management, as well as security product implementations. When we start off hefty with the inclination and declination. Our strategy when we declined in Q2 and Q4 was because we wanted to provide a free awareness services, hence as a part of our marketing strategy. This year, we projected in terms of revenue to increase to have a revenue of 37,505 with a capacity utilization of 50%. This is the direct correlation as we build, trying to ensure that our services are used as we spend our revenue more on marketing and advertising to increase our capacity. Our targeted segmentation includes healthcare companies, financial institutions, government agencies, tech companies, telecommunications, educational institutions, law enforcement agencies, to name the few. We've received a very good positive feedback from one of our clients who was impressed with our professionalism and service. We conducted a competitor analysis with one of the local service providers, where we identified that Tactics currently provides a very good quality of service with the local expertise in compared to other competitors. They outsource services from other countries. And as well, they are not in the technology sector, or else they are in the financial sectors. We have a team of extensive expertise with a track record of delivering a cybersecurity solution for over 7 years. We have a Chief Technology Officer, Chief Operational Officer, Chief Executive Officer, Chief Information Officer, as well as a Legal Corporate Secretary. We are again seeking for 30,000 in exchange of 10% of equity stake to be used in our marketing and advertising, office space, technology and software expenses, strategic partnership. With all that being said, thank you very much.
Great. Thank you very much, Dumelo, for the great pitch. We will now hand over to our judges for some questions. And so we will start in the room. And I'd like to find out if there are any questions for Dumelo in the room.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'd just like to know your financial projections, because I was trying to gather the revenue model that you are going to use.
Okay, the financial projections are basically based on the valuation of the money that we currently need. So currently we are in the post-revenue valuations. So basically what we're saying that with regards to the money that we're going to receive, this is the actual amount of money that we are going to receive for this financial year.
Yes, how much is that?
Which is 37,305 for this financial year, utilizing our capacity of 50%.
Thank you, Dumelo. Who is your potential client or customer, and what research have you done to understand their needs?
In actual fact, like the market space of ours is very big, but the potential client in this case is small, medium, and enterprises. Our big target markets. So our research basically, we identified that most organizations currently don't have ways to protect themselves. So our target market in this case is law enforcement agencies, the government itself, which at this stage trying to help them ensure that they come up with the best cybersecurity strategies.
But I think the question was that. Oh.
No, please go
Okay,
ahead.
go ahead.
Okay, no, thank you so much. Just in the last 30 seconds, your $30,000 for 10%, you're implying a valuation of the business. How did you get to that number?
Well, the 30,000 for 10% is basically meant for post valuation, which includes basically our assets, the market space, and the dominance of us being the major players in the cyberspace currently in the country.
Okay, one short question online is: your solution is already provided by AI. What differentiation are you?
All right, we are out of time. We are out of time for questions. Thank you very much. And so we will move on to our next entrepreneur. Thank you very much, judges, and thank you once again, Dumelo. We will move on now to Rare Disease Lesotho Association, which is founded by Nthabeleng. And so we will now play her pitch. Over to you, Rare Disease Lesotho Association.
And today I'll be presenting to you Rare Disease National Social Security Database. Now, imagine waking up from a coma and you realize that you're still sick. This is what happened to me a couple of years ago. I called a hypochondriac. This is my journey to my diagnosis of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, which is a rare condition that is not easily diagnosed by most doctors. And with this is where my journey of establishing Rare Disease Lesotho Association started off. Because I asked myself, if I took this long to get to know what's wrong with me, what about any other child out there in a country such as Lesotho with very little to minimal resources when it comes? So a rare disease is 1 in every 2,000 people of a population set by the UN resolution. And with that said, it means the overwhelmment of the public health system. You cannot imagine how overwhelmed they are in general. So now having to put on rare conditions on top of it is a bit of an issue that we're dealing with. So the solution to the problem is that as a rare disease association, we decided to create a national security database, which would have all the patients' information that is needed, that could be accessed by doctors, health practitioners, and the government as a whole, to then use information stored in the database to diagnose and get medication for the patient when it's needed. And this is already a problem in the world, not just Lesotho, as we speak. So with such a system, it will be easier to have access to all this information and facilities that we currently do not have on hand. Our competitor as well, rather say people would like to work with stakeholders, other government and other stakeholders, because we don't really have a competition. It's easier to work as a whole than as individuals, as we are an NGO trying to create something that would help the world as a whole, or the people as a whole. As a NGO, our business model is literally based on fundraising and getting grants as far as possible, because we don't necessarily make any money for ourselves, but rather for the whole movement of the campaign and the association. The sales from the data sales will be the ones that make money into the company. We don't really have a module, so to speak. Database within this, the company itself or the association itself, to see who and what the conditions are out there, and our patients knowing where and what kind of conditions they have is already stored in the company, in the association, which means the centralized database will just be a bigger version of that. So the company has a board of directors and caregivers and patients within themselves as a bigger board, but we make up a bigger team as a whole, as we have international people as well that are helping us in everyday activities. The question is, why now? So in 2021, 16 December, the UN resolution was affirmed by the UN, and all the UN countries signed up that the rare disease is an important issue that needs to be addressed, and due to that, as to come up and say, we need help and we need certain problems given solutions, and a centralized database will be a solution to most of our problems, especially as we saw what happened in 2020 all the way now due to COVID, where all of our patients were the most, unfortunately, high-risk people, as they already had underlying conditions over COVID. And our ask is just skilled specialists and a database built by professionals help us move this from an idea to an actual program running. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Ntabeleng. And you're right, Motukibo Tukaba, definitely. And really great solution there that you've pitched. So now we will hand over to our judges, who will be asking the entrepreneurs our questions. So we will start once again in the room if there are any questions for Ntabeleng. Right, it seems we can't hear the room.
Okay, thank you. I was just saying, since you're saying you're an NGO, can you just highlight us on the sustainability model that you intend to apply?
So far, we've been sustaining ourselves due to fundraising on our whole projects, such as we've had patient successes of donation, transplants within the association, and creating coming in, coming out products. So for the long run, we'll be looking at whatever funding we get, we make products that will then bring into the NGO funding, so that we don't rely on funders alone, but we also rely on ourselves as a whole, because we can't keep sustaining ourselves based on someone interjecting within the NGO. We have to find ways and solutions to keep going without a funder. We've seen this years upon years as an NGO that nobody understands. Rare diseases has been a problem, but everybody that you go out to is always, why is it a problem today? So going forward, we're trying to make sure that we've got things going in that we use so that we can also make our own money instead of just relying on funders. This is going to be through, like I said, a centralized database. So this database will be sold not just to the government for use, but for international organizations as well, doing the same thing. We have not established such a system yet. We've got Rare Disease International, which has over 50 to 100 NGOs of the same system. That for now, nobody has such a system running except 3 countries, which is Canada, the UK, and the US. So if we get certain countries coming in and buying the database, we'll get our own countries, we'll be making money for ourselves.
All right. Talk to us about the legalities of accessing patient information and how you intend to protect that, particularly when your business model speaks to commercializing it.
Oh yes, that is a very critical one where we have to go through the mandate of knowing what kind of information can we put out using the legalized information for medical. So we're not just going to put out crucial information, just the basic information. So not names per se, but conditions and numbers.
All right, we are out of time. Thank you very much, Ntabeleng, and thank you very much to our judges as well for those questions. And now we will move on to our next entrepreneur who will be pitching, and that is Kingdom Diagnostics, that is represented or founded by Dimpho. So Kingdom Diagnostics, it is your time to shine.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Dimpho Lepiana. I'm a biomedical science technician by profession. I also hold qualification in advanced diploma in applied management. I'm a lead entrepreneur, founder, and the CEO of Kingdom Diagnostics. Back in 2003, I lost my brother, and some years before that, he actually lost his dog. It's what the doctor and the vet said in these 2 deaths that got stuck in the back of my head. They both said something like, if only we could tell what the problem is. After years of research, I then decided to enroll into biomedical science, and then the same scenario later inspired the inception of Kingdom Diagnostics. You see, Lesotho is no exception to the developing countries with shortage of infrastructure and technology in human and veterinary laboratories, as well as medical imaging, be it radiology and scanning. The Kingdom Diagnostics would like to offer a solution to this problem by providing technology to assist in advanced disease diagnosis as well as monitoring, and we want to do this at affordable and reasonable prices. As an entry into our market, we would like to first of all introduce human pathology laboratory, whereby we will be performing in-house tests while strategically identifying the tests that we shall be sending to our referral laboratory. We would later like to have a veterinary laboratory as well as medical imaging department where we will be performing various tests. We are currently in the pre-revenue phase whereby we have registered a holdings company. My car shall be used to run the errands of the company from inception to the operational level. We have established a working relationship with Lancet Laboratories in Bloemfontein, and they will be our referral laboratory. We have our professionals who are registered with the professional bodies such as the Lesotho Medical and Dental Pharmaceutical Council, as well as the Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists, Lesotho. And we are currently awaiting licensure from the Ministry of Health to practice as a private practice. We have identified 4 main competitors in our area, namely Pathcare, EliPath, Reliance, as well as Target Laboratory. The market at medium to high magnitude by ensuring that our services are available throughout Lesotho. We introduce technology that will see the reduction in the turnaround times. We also want to introduce unique services such as call a test, whereby we will be reducing the distance traveled by the customers to our facility. In doing all these things, we want to ensure that we have the competitive prices. Also, in addition to our competitive advantage, we are bringing a vast experience in hospital laboratory departments. I've been a former committee member of the Association of Medical Laboratory Scientists, Lesotho, and I was able to identify then that indeed there is a need for this kind of a business. I've been a former consulting member, consulting manager for one of our competitors, and was able to help them in setting up as well as managing their laboratory. I have experience in animal health from working as a technician at the National University of Lesotho's biology department. We are expecting a minimum of 6,180 in sales over the as cash sales. This is the first option. The other option would be introduction of subscription model, whereby we will be requesting plus or minus 10 US dollars per person a month. Is to have 10 people per district in each of the 10 districts of Lesotho within 3 months, and the total sales then would be 1,000 US dollars. Project expenditure is selling to 2,850 per month. And this is what we are asking. We would like to have a capital investment, which is with safe agreement to the value of 70,000 US dollars. We are also looking for assistance in design, in actual design of the subscription model. We would also like to have someone on board as a strategic partner who will be growing with us as the business grows. In our team, we have Mr. Makata Luka, who will be handling daily operations of the laboratory. We have Ms. Nkuba Lepoto, a labor law practitioner, who will be handling all our contracts. We have a programmer, a computer scientist, who is Mr. Bohuku, who will be developing applications as a means of communications within our business, as well as handling digital marketing, Thank you very much.
Great, thank you very much, Kingdom Diagnostics, for the great pitch. And now we will, of course, hand over to the room, to the judges, for any questions.
Thank you, Dimpo. You've identified 4 big competitors already in the market. What research have you done? What differentiation do you anticipate bringing? And then what gap are you trying to fill?
Most importantly, the pricing. The current because they are actually there's no competitive commission or there's no customer protection. So they just put the prices as they wish because they know that they are the first timers. And the subsequent businesses are just following through. We intend to introduce different pricing model. Secondly, there's an issue of ethics, as I stated that I was in other association of medical laboratory scientists. We know there is an issue of ethics, but people have to go there, for instance, for tests like DNA tests.
Okay. I think as a follow-up to what he just asked, the question would be the marketing strategy that you intend to penetrate the concept here.
We would like to use the marketing strategies such as bulk SMSing, and also like to employ social media as well as the classic marketing of using newspapers as well as televisions and radio stations that are favored.
And can you? Sorry, ma'am.
No worries, go ahead.
Can you quickly just let us know, elaborate on the tech that you said you're building that will reduce times?
The what?
Yeah. So we're running. Yeah.
Development of an app that will be sending the results back to the patient.
All right, and time is up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dimpo, and thank you to our judges as well. And also, ladies and gentlemen, I know there are some questions coming up in the chat, and some of our attendees do have some questions for the entrepreneurs, but I think this is a great opportunity for you to all connect and network and really get in touch with these entrepreneurs and ask them questions. But to the entrepreneurs online, please also feel free to answer your questions in the chat if you didn't have the opportunity to answer it live. But now we will move on to our next entrepreneur, and that would be Girls Coding Academy, represented by Maneo. So Girls Coding Academy, over to you.
Greetings, everyone. I'm Maneo Maparisa. Can you imagine of a girl from a rural area who has passed her high school level with flying colors, admitted at a tertiary to study computer science, and she hasn't touched a computer in her life? And she's expected to submit and pass well in class. The class where is mostly men in that class. I'm Maneo Maparisa, like I've said. I'm the founder of Girls Coding Academy, and these are the brands that we have worked with, and I believe you are in good company. Like I said, I'm that girl who has been going through that gender gap and also the self-confidence without a skill of computer. I am not the only one who was going through that. After advocating around Lesotho, I realized that there's a gender gap in technology, and there's a lack of exposure of STEM programs in the country as well. And this lack of understanding and importance of STEM programs and technology. And also, many of us are consumers of technology and not inventors or innovators. And also there's a high unemployment rate, even those who have a skill into IT. And this is a solution. We offer coding, robotics, 3D printing to a 5-year-old and above. Our customer, we service business to business, business to customer, business to business, where we offer our service to a public sector, to government sectors or private sector, where they sometimes want us to train their employees, or the public based on the skills that may be needed at that time, a tech skill that may be needed. And we also have individuals who come to our center from daily basis to offer the service to that customer based on the training, the customers per customer. And this is the market that we have in the country. As you can see, the pyramid from 50, the number from age 5 and above, you can see that the population is the number of people that we have as our customers, and the schools, the number of schools that do not have IT or the services that we offer that we are targeting. And 55% of the customers in the country are stable to cover or pay the services that we have. We also want to go global. We want to offer our services online, not just in Lesotho, but Africa, maybe Northern America. So with the support that you will give us, we want to go to that far. These are our financials. From 2018 to 2019, I've started advocating while I was a student at National University of Lesotho, so there was no generation of money. We started generating money between 2020 to 2023. So far, we received 2 grants, 100,000 and 70,000. And all this are the expenditures and profits that we made through the operations. This is my amazing team. Most of us into IT, software engineering, and also honors in computing. I'm in computer science as well. We only have our accountant with a unique skill. We seek an amount of $25,000 US. We want to buy more laptops, 3D printer, robotic kits, printers, and tables and chairs. We want to also move to a bigger office space. The office space that we have now, it doesn't accommodate most of our clients. And as you can see, most of our clients are business to custom, but we want to do business to business. So we need a highly qualified human resource because of the demand that we have, but based on the skills that we have at the moment, doesn't meet the standard of the companies that require our services. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much, Maneo, and great to see you working to close that gender gap. Excellent work there. I will hand over to our judges, again, starting in the room, if you have any questions for Maneo.
Okay. Thank you, Maneo, for that presentation. Can you just tell us, because you said you received some funding before, so from an investor's perspective, we'd like to know how you utilized those funds.
Okay, I bought the laptops, I bought the tables, I bought a 3D printer that we train with, and we bought the shelves, and we also bought some small expenditure like printers, pens, mounting pens, and whiteboard. Yes. So the other ones that I'm using at the moment.
And how did that contribute to the growth of girls coding?
We were using a small offset 3 by 3 meters office before the grants that I received, but now we use 4 meters by 6 meters. And the tables and chairs are still fine and in good conditions, but the grants were received in 2020. So the lifespan of the laptop is 3 years. At the moment, the lifespan, the laptop that I received have lost value. And based on the tax software that we're using currently, they do not meet some standards.
Right, you've referred to a myriad of potential clients, being schools, children, and B2B. What would you say would be your target market going forward?
My target market, like I said, I've worked with kids from 2019 until now, but I want to branch to make more money into training the adults, let's say the employees, doing business to business. And I have been approached by some companies who wants me to do the trainings with them, but have to give a track record of my work. At the moment, I've only trained one company, but with this grant, I believe I would have the equipment and also the trainers who are equipped to offer such services.
Can you elaborate on robotics, your offering on robotics?
Yes, we offer robotics from a 5-year-old and upwards. So what is a robotics?
All right.
A robot is...
Time is up. Time is up. Thank you very much, Maneo. And congratulations, well done on the great pitch. And thank you very much, judges, too. We will move on to our final entrepreneur for today who will be pitching, which is KT Business Solutions, founded by Kaugelo. And so KT Business Solutions, over to you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kaugelo Ramakongwana, and I'll be presenting on K4 Group of Hotels, which is a subsidiary of KT Business Solutions. K4 Group of Hotels was established in 2019 after seeing the rising number of unemployment in youth in Lesotho. Being a parent myself, I decided to use my skills to start up a business that will not only solve the current unemployment issues, but also start building a legacy for my kids. Our vision is to offer pleasantly unforgettable home away from home experience to our customers. And the problem that we are trying to solve is there's inadequate supply of high-graded accommodation facilities in Lesotho. Some international tourists seek accommodation in South Africa, which results in revenue leakage. There's high unemployment, and this is an industry that generated $24 million in 2021, and the figure is bound to increase. The solution that we are offering an 8-bedroom, 3-star graded establishment within Maseru CBD. And this will result in increased economic activity, as well as create 14 direct jobs and many indirect jobs. And this will also reduce the need for tourists to travel to South Africa for accommodation and give the tourists opportunity to unwind and enjoy the attractions in the Mountain Kingdom. Our milestones as an entity to date: in 2014, we acquired and started operating a commercial complex. In 2019, we started operating a 5-bedroom bed and breakfast. And the same year, we acquired the property, which is here, and that is the property that we want to turn into a guest house and potentially a hotel. To date, this is where we are. We started refurbishments last year, and we intend to complete by the end of this year, and this is how it will look like upon completion. So those are our milestones. We are asking for financing, debt financing of $100,000, and this will be used to complete the structure and acquire furniture and other things that are needed for us to start operating. We anticipate that will generate revenue of 120,000 in year 1, growing to 142 and 171,000 in years 2 and 3. And this will result in EBITDA of 33,000, growing to 51 and 76,000 in years 2 and 3. And 58% of this will be from accommodation, 29% food, and 13% beverages. The assumptions we have made is that there will be 50% occupancy rate in year 1, 60 in year 2, and 18% price increase in year 3. And these assumptions are based on our experience with the current project that we are running. There is adequate market within Lesotho. Over the past 20 years, the number of tourists has grown from 360,000 to 1.1 million in 2019. There are quite a number of competitors, and these are the few that we feel offer more or less what we want to offer. And we believe our location and facilities will enable us to outcompete most of this. Lesotho, or rather Avani hotels, are still above us. However, our prices will be lower. And our key differentiators will be modern finishes in the bedrooms. There will be a swimming pool, sauna and massage facilities. All rooms will have private balconies, and customers will get value for their money. And we pride ourselves with providing excellent customer service. We'll market through social media, and our clients will be able to book through sites such as booking.com. In terms of corporate social responsibility, we already assist our staff with their children's school needs, and we intend to extend this beyond our organization. And to recap on our ask, we are requesting or asking for debt financing of $100,000 to acquire furniture and to complete the structure. And of course, we are open to any other forms of financing. This brings me to the end of my presentation. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Great, thank you very much, Hello. Great pitch there, and thank you very much for sharing. I will hand over to our judges for the last round of questions. And again, we will start in the room if there are any questions for Hello.
Thank you so much. I think we are very much aware that currently accommodation establishments are actually coming up in Lesotho. And you are also coming up with this concept. So the question would be, how do you differentiate yourself from the ones that are existing, considering the Lesotho structure?
Okay, there are a number of initiatives that we are going to take. One is the service that we offer, 2 upmarket facilities, and then also offer spa facilities and have a restaurant within the yard. So you'll find that in most of the upcoming accommodation facilities, they only offer bed and breakfast.
So in terms of the market size, what is the size of the market, and how do you anticipate it growing to be able to meet the debt repayment that you are requesting?
Okay, like I've highlighted, over the past 20 years, the number of visitors has increased from 360,000 a year to 1.1 million, and it's increasing. And with the development in infrastructure within the country, a lot more people are coming into Lesotho. That is the likes of Lihari and other developments within the country.
Can you say more about your team?
At the moment, the business is run by myself and my sister. She's a procurement specialist, and I'm grooming my 3 kids who are aged between 12 and 18 to take over. And we have managerial team who are currently running the existing businesses, who are trained in tourism and hospitality. But they are not at executive level. They are just managing the businesses. So at executive, it's myself and my younger sister.
With experience in the business?
Yes. So we have already started running the
All right, time is
businesses in tourism.
Okay, great. Time is up. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jorgelo, and thank you very much to our judges as well. Yeah, we are very inspired and motivated and just so excited to see the developments of all of the entrepreneurs who pitched today. There were some really great pitches today, so congratulations to you all. And I think if we could just all give a short round of applause for all of the entrepreneurs that pitched today. Well done to you all. Great, thank you. And so now we will move over to our judges' deliberation. So the judges will excuse themselves for a moment just to deliberate and let us know who the winner will be. This portion of the event creates a lot of anticipation and anxiety, I know, for some of our entrepreneurs. But what we will do to sort of calm these nerves is have a short activity from one of my colleagues, Sam Stodel, who will be taking us through just a short activity for us to begin interacting with the audience, but also for you to just, you know, take a moment to think outside of all of these pitches and do something fun. And after that, we will then have a short tea break, which will then be followed by the feedback from our judges. And I see Cameron has posted good luck to the judges. This might be a very tough one. Today's pitches were very great. So again, well done to the entrepreneurs and judges. We hope to hear back from you soon. And Sam, I will now hand over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Noni. If you could just let me know when you can see my screen. If I could, maybe, Noni, I can see you. Can I get a thumbs up? Awesome. Okay, great. Cool. So we've got a fun little activity while our judges are busy deliberating. So the activity is just a little icebreaker. Nobody's going to ask you to stand up and talk, so nobody worry. Please, if you could just grab your device, if that's a laptop or a phone, anything will work. You can go to the link that I posted in the chat, and I'll also read it out now. It's also on the screen that you can see in front of you. So that's menti.com, menti.com, and the code for today is 78988874. So I'll repeat that. It's 78988874. Once you are onto the platform, you can click the heart in the bottom right, which will let me know that you are on. So I see there are quite a lot of us in the room and on the call, so hopefully this number will jump a little bit. It is just a little distraction, I suppose, while our judges are making their very tough decision. We had 7 incredible entrepreneurs pitch today from Lesotho, and we were just saying as a team we're super inspired and super impressed by the talent in the room. So we don't envy the judges today. So hopefully this number will jump a little bit more unless my screen is stuck. We've got 3 people on the platform. If you could go to menti.com and use the code 78988874. And just again, once you are in the platform, you can just press the little heart icon at the bottom right, and that will let us know that you're with us. I see that our numbers are jumping slightly. Okay, awesome. We will get started in the interests of time. And if anybody still wants to join us as we go, you are going to be able to do so. Okay, question number 1. If you were headed to Mars and you could take one thing with you, what would it be? Only one thing. I think this is always a tough question. A Mars bar. Love that. We got a phone. We got knickknacks. Water, my laptop. I think this also very much depends on the context, who you're going with, what's going to be there already. A coffee machine. I think the Mars bar takes the cake on this one. Okay, we'll go to the next question. What emoji are you feeling after hearing from our entrepreneurs today? I think I'm feeling quite inspired. You can pop an emoji in the text bar if you are answering on your phone. Or some laptops do have emojis, but this will create a little word cloud. Or if you don't have an emoji on your text, you can just pop it in the word. You can type it in. Spirited is up. We got excited. I'm quite excited to hear back from our judges shortly. We got 2 emojis, resuscitated, proud, mind blown, awe-inspired, conquer. Okay, and our final question for today, are you an early bird or a night owl? Sometimes I think it depends on the season and the time that the sun comes up. Let's see who we've got with us today. More night owls at the moment. Awesome. 7 night owls and 3 early birds. Cool. Okay, thanks so much, everybody. We are going to take 5 minutes for a quick tea break. So go and make yourself a cup of coffee, shake out your nerves, and in 5 minutes, we will be hearing back from our judges. Thanks, everybody, and we will see you in 5.
All right, welcome back, everyone. Welcome back. Welcome back to our judges too. We are waiting in anticipation to find out who our winners are. I know there was sort of a lot of conversation on the chat just around how this decision would be very difficult for the judges. So we're really looking forward to that feedback. And again, we are very excited to be seeing who our winners for today are. Lesotho, you've really set the bar quite high. I see that you are the favorite for a few people who have attended some of the events previously in Eswatini as well as Namibia. And so we see, Lesotho has quite high ratings so far. So no pressure to any of the entrepreneurs, but we will be keeping up with you and really just making sure to see and check on your developments. But as we have, I see everyone in the room is seated now, and so we should be ready to go. But judges in the room, are you ready to provide us with your feedback? We have the room muted. All right, there we go. Are we ready in the room?
Yes, we are.
Okay, perfect then. All right, so for this next portion, what we will do is have our feedback coming back from the judges. If I could kindly ask each judge just to provide your general feedback for all of the entrepreneurs, just for their learning and improvement moving forward. And then we will have Grace Lechodi, who will announce our winners for the day. And so I will start in the room. If there is any general feedback and commentary from our judges in the room.
Okay. Thank you very much. Firstly, I'd like to congratulate all the participants because indeed they are all winners, but we still have to select the top. And the feedback here really is for you to go back and review the elements that we picked out of this session. For one, when you are talking about giving a solution, it's very important to be very clear, be specific, the kind of solution that you're offering, because sometimes you might find that you are misplaced in the value chain. So it's very important to identify exactly and be audible enough for us to appreciate the exact solution that you're providing. I think that's one key thing that we picked. And the second one, we were a bit shy to talk about our teams. And really, an investor is looking to trust into the solution, to trust into the people that are invested in the business. So if you are not clear about who your team is, what their roles are going to be, that actually gives a sort of a red flag, if I may say. I think I'll just contribute to those.
Well, thank you. So again, from my side, congratulations to all of you. Most importantly, this was about the journey that you took. I'm told 10 to 12 months you've been in this program. You have survived various challenges, which includes assignments, mentorship, training, and you've made it to this far. So yes, it is important that you go back and think about the questions we asked, and not only what we asked you, what we asked others. Because this is about the stage, and this is about you being able to attract investment. And so, again, you are one of the few that have been able to make it to this stage. That says that your idea has potential, and we want to confirm that we saw potential in all of you. We want you to think more about sustainability going forward, because I can't always be about ask. You need to be clear about the team. And most importantly, as you ask, how are you defining your value? I think a lot of you were not able to address that aspect. So what is the 30,000 going to do for your business? What is the 20,000 doing to your sustainability? So we'd like to you in the future to be able to address a bit of that. I think the issue of problem definition has been mentioned already, issue of confidence, but otherwise we are very much excited to be part of your journey, and we look forward to seeing you more in the future. Let this, whether you win or you don't win, let this not be the reason to let go of your idea. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mentate. I honestly don't, without taking too much more time, I really echo with everything that you've said in the room today. And just reiterate, everyone today is a winner. Many of you I had the pleasure of meeting last year, and it's really just been such an honor to see how you've grown leaps and bounds, and really implore you to continue as you were. I'm just going to give 3 key summary feedbacks, and then not to add to the suspense, and then I will announce the winner. And then this is the 3 key summary feedback on my side is just whether you're be clear on your offering that is your main source of revenue, whether it's present for those that are already generating revenue and future for those that are pre-revenue. Number 2, those that are pre-revenue, market sizing is really, really important. Do your research, check developed markets. There's even ChatGPT now, the ultimate, Google that you can just ask, what is the market size of what I'm trying to do? And you will get the answers. So just do a little bit more homework. And the third and last key feedback, just to add, is, always think about global partnerships for local empowerment. So yes, all passionate about, doing for Basotho by Basotho, but just know that life is not an island. We live in a global world, and do leverage global partnerships as much as you possibly can. And so, without further ado, we are going to announce the top 2 winners today. Can we get a drum roll? And in second place, we have Testix Incorporated. Congratulations. And before I announce who the first prize was, I think it's worth saying that, these two top winners, they were very clear on their product offering, their market understanding. They showed great metrics, whether it was present, future, clear on, what they were going to do with the money or what they've done with past money, and they target market competitors. So really those that are, in the room, implore you to learn from these entrepreneurs. And the winner is Girls Coding Academy. Wow. Over back to you, Nani.
Great, excellent. Thank you very much, judges, and congratulations to our winners. Congratulations, Tethix Incorporated and Girls Coding Academy. We are very proud of you, but as the judges have mentioned, everyone in the room, all the entrepreneurs are winners today. Congratulations for making it this far. And I would like to just take a moment as well to thank your coaches and mentors that really did support you in your pitch readiness and preparations. And so we're very excited to have our winners announced for Lesotho. Congratulations to you both. And just as a reminder, the first prize winner will receive uncapped internet for their business for 24 months, as well as landline connection with a dedicated number for their office, and a domain, website, and email hosting service supported and sponsored by Vodacom. Our second prize winner will be receiving uncapped internet for their business for 24 months, as well as domain and website hosting, also sponsored by Vodacom. So congratulations to you both. And we do hope that these prizes really do help you with growing your businesses further. Great. Right. Well, thank you very much to our judges once again. Thank you very much to the entrepreneurs that pitched, and congratulations to our winners. We will now hear more about the way forward from David Monkman from CAFE as their Entrepreneurship Hub Program Manager. David is an action-orientated leader who has founded 2 companies, led numerous advisory projects, and spearheaded many project and program pilots. He spent the last 13 years as a principal consultant, serving as a subject matter expert and leader, building communities and corporate behaviors through planning, design, and delivery for new social, environmental, and economic infrastructures. David, thank you very much for joining us today, and over to you.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to talk, for the opportunity to acknowledge the entrepreneurs here today. Well done. All protocols observed, distinguished entrepreneurs and guests. I'd like to thank you for this opportunity to showcase Southern African entrepreneurial talent. I appreciate all of you for taking the initiative to bring your innovations and ideas to the forum, and I hope that the support we offer through our new entrepreneurship hub and seed financing facility can help bring your ideas to life. As you've heard from the Honorable Minister, the Lesotho Competitiveness and Financial Inclusion Project aims to increase access to business support services and financial products targeted at entrepreneurs, especially women and youth. The Entrepreneurship Hub and Seed Financing Facility, which I think of as a startup acceleration platform, are essential components of this project. And their purpose is to strengthen our nascent entrepreneurial ecosystem and to improve access to early stage finance for youth and women-owned businesses and startups. This new program will support the digitization of small, high potential businesses. It'll facilitate private investment in high potential value chain and encourage the adoption of sustainable production practices by businesses to enhance productivity and green growth. We will concentrate our efforts on priority sectors, including textiles, horticulture, tourism, manufacturing, ICT. We're open to other sectors like construction and others too. The point of the program is to focus on entrepreneurship. Our goal is to increase the quality and scope of integrated startup business support services, to increase access to early stage financing, and we'll do this by providing incubation support services to groups of startups at a time. In 6-month-long business incubation cycles, that are facilitated by networks of entrepreneurship support organizations. These ESOs will enjoy the shared use of a new incubation center that is currently being developed here in Maseru, where they will get to channel support to startups. Together, our entrepreneurship hub and this network of ESOs will organize training and capacity building sessions for startups on topics relevant to their business, including technologies, environmental and social safeguards, business planning. Together, they'll facilitate networking opportunities for startups to connect with potential customers, partners, and other ecosystem stakeholders, both inside Lesotho and across the region. And at the end of these 6-month-long incubation cycles, we'll facilitate access to regional markets through access to a soft lending network of incubation partners, like those in South Africa, in Botswana, Eswatini, in Kenya, in nationally strategic clusters. We believe that the Entrepreneurship Hub and Seed Financing Facility will be a catalyst for the formation of strategic business support platforms on behalf of Lesotho stakeholders. We aim to be creating a enabling environment for young entrepreneurs and small businesses to thrive, increase revenues, and create jobs. Ladies and gentlemen and founders, the government of Lesotho is committed to achieving its development goals as outlined in the second National Development Plan and Vision 2030. One of the key pillars of this plan is to promote economic growth and development through entrepreneurship and innovation. Our new startup program aligns perfectly with this vision, as it has been designed to support and nurture the growth of startups. Through this program, the government can create a strong public-private partnership to support and fund promising startups in Lesotho. This partnership will bring together government agencies, private investors, industry experts, financial institutions to provide the funding, the mentorship, and the guidance that startups require. By combining these public and private resources, our program can create a sustainable ecosystem that can support the growth of startups. Our new Startup Acceleration Program can also leverage blended finance to support the growth of startups. Blended finance is a funding mechanism. It's public and private sector funding to finance development projects. By using this approach, government will be able to attract private sector investment to fund high potential small businesses. This will not only bring additional funding to startups, but it will also help to de-risk investments for private investors and make it more attractive for them to participate. Furthermore, this new Startup Acceleration Program can bridge the gap between Lesotho and its larger South African neighbor by creating a platform for startups to connect and collaborate. By fostering a culture of innovation and entrepreneurship, Lesotho can become a hub for startups in the region, attracting Lesotho entrepreneurs and investors from across the region. In addition to promoting economic growth, this acceleration program will also help to change culture, create a culture of entrepreneurship. By providing support and mentorship to startups, the program can inspire and encourage more people to pursue entrepreneurship as a career path or as a precursor to a better paying job. This can help create new generations of entrepreneurs who can contribute to the economic development of our country. In conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, founders, our new Startup Acceleration Program can be a catalyst for Lesotho's economic growth and development. The program can create a sustainable ecosystem for startups to thrive. By bridging a gap between Lesotho and neighbors, it promotes a culture of entrepreneurship, and the program can help to build a stronger Lesotho, contribute to the achievement of the Second National Strategic Plan and Vision 2030. I encourage you to take advantage of this opportunity that we're creating through the Entrepreneurship Hub, with including the seed financing facility. Our success will be determined by the number of entrepreneurs that benefit, the value of financing that we unlock for them, and the percent of them earning more revenues, and the number of jobs they create. We look forward to working with all of you to facilitate and achieve these goals. I wish to close by thanking you once again for coming to today's pitch event, brought to us from our friends at the Thinkubate Academy, Think Room, and Innovation Bridge Portfolio. Thank you, sponsors, the World Bank, Ministry of Trade, Industry, Business Development, and Tourism. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and especially entrepreneurs, I'm looking forward to continuing our work together, celebrating the entrepreneurs who dare to aspire and to demonstrate their commitment to changing the stars that guide them and to guide us. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Great. Thank you very much, David. And thank you very much for sharing more about the way forward, but also just highlighting once again the importance of collaborative and consultative approaches to supporting entrepreneurs in the region, as well as the value of increasing access to businesses, be it through access to networks, funding, markets, or knowledge. I think the facilitation of the opportunities for these entrepreneurs by government investors, private sector partners, and others will really catalyze change with regard to the economic development and employment opportunities created by entrepreneurs in Lesotho. So we really are looking forward to that. And entrepreneurs, please do take up the opportunities presented by David and find out more about the program as well as the fund. Next up, we will have a word from the Principal Secretary, who is Thabo Moleko of the Department of Trade and Industry. So Thabo, over to you.
Thank you, Madam. I'm sorry I just got in here late, probably. Before continuing with the remarks, to first pay my respects to His Majesty King III, the Right Honorable Prime Minister, the President of Senate, the Speaker of the National Assembly, His Lordship, the Chief Justice, the Honorable Deputy Prime Minister, the World Bank representative and World Bank Operations Manager, heads of government agencies and our State House, senior government officials, academia, private sector representatives, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen.
I would like to take this opportunity to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who participated in the pitch event earlier today. It was truly inspiring. I hope, because I was not around, it was truly inspiring. I hope to witness the tremendous passion and commitment that each of the 7 innovative startups for a particular cause, such as startups displayed as they present their ideas to our esteemed investors. Their dedication to entrepreneurship is a true testimony to the spirit of innovation and resilience that we hold dearly in Lesotho. Entrepreneurship is not just an engine for economic growth. It is also a factor that makes communities more vibrant, inclusive, and secure. However, access to finance remains a significant challenge for startups and SMEs, particularly in emerging markets such as Lesotho. It is therefore essential that we work together to create a supportive ecosystem that provides the entrepreneurs with the tools and resources they need to succeed. The government of Lesotho is committed to fostering a more entrepreneurial culture and has taken significant steps towards this goal through the Competitiveness and Financial Inclusion Project, which aims to create a knowledge infrastructure that will help provide much needed support to the SMEs sector. One of the aspects of this project is the Entrepreneurship Hub and the Seed Financing Facility, which is designed to provide risk capital to innovative startups and small businesses that have the potential to drive growth in our country. By providing access to appropriate growth-oriented financing, we can help these enterprises to grow rapidly and become faster-growing SMEs, create new employment and economic activity. Ladies and gentlemen, it is important to bear in mind that the relevance, approach, and effectiveness of the Lesotho Entrepreneurship Hub and Seed Financing Facility will be highly dependent on the connectedness of its ecosystem. Our ecosystem will reflect the collective endowment of economic development activities across Lesotho and will correlate with the maturity in terms of breadth and depth of local institutions. In more sophisticated ecosystems, there may be a greater natural prosperity for members to work together for a particular cause, such as supporting the development and acceleration of gazelles, the fastest growing small businesses out there. By contrast, in less robust situations, they may offer fewer service options and tend to force ventures to adopt to the limits of local program offerings. Therefore, in the light of this, when considering the role our accelerator, engine investors, venture capital, and debt providers are expected to play in the development and growth of early-stage business development, it will be important to consider how we work together. Ladies and gentlemen, what that means for local early-stage finance providers that we aim to catalyze is that constraints on the ability to tie in complementary resources will be in proportion to the underdevelopment of the ecosystem. you could think of CAFI. You could think of CAFI's new entrepreneurship support platform as a team support. The quality of the team is a function of the availability of a diverse range of institutional support options and how effectively it will work together in a holistic way. Players in the finance sector will perform differently depending in part on the cost of making each investment, as well as the cost of selling investments. The funding supply chain can be compared to a relay race. Ideally, one could safely pass on the button to the next sprinter to carry an avis on the, to carry on an adversity on the next stage in their development at relatively frequently and regular intervals. Therefore, we call to action for you today. Therefore, my call to action for you today is to work together in lockstep tomorrow. Collaborate on practices, share common approaches. I would like to take this opportunity to invite all of our guests to join us in our efforts to foster a more enterprising nation in Lesotho. We must work together to create a supportive regulatory environment and financial infrastructure that enables entrepreneurs to succeed. We must also recognize that entrepreneurship is a team sport, and that we all have a role to play in building a robust ecosystem that supports these brave entrepreneurs. The second National Strategic Development Plan, NSTDP2, provides us with a roadmap for prioritizing agriculture, tourism, and creative industries, manufacturing, and technology as key priority areas. The CAFI project was developed to directly address these priority areas with a focus on making our private sector more competitive. I'm confident that by working together, we can create a bright future for our country and for the brave entrepreneurs who are striving to make a difference. We must celebrate the native talent and ingenuity of the Basotho people and recognize that SMEs are the main contributors to economic growth and important drivers of innovation and economic diversification. In closing, I would like to express my sincere appreciation once again to everyone who participated in this pitch event today. I categorically wish to thank the World Bank for the support and Vodacom for the sponsorship. Let us all join hands and work together to foster a more enterprising nation in Lesotho. Let us continue to celebrate the spirit of entrepreneurship and innovation as is alive and well in our country. I wish to thank you for giving me audience.
Great. Thank you very much, Mr. Thabo Moleko, and thank you very much for sharing more around the work that you are doing, but also just sharing more around the support that is being provided to early stage businesses and supporting their funding supply chain, but also that call to action for everyone in the room, as well as the entrepreneurs, just to make sure you are utilizing your networks, utilizing your resources, but also relying on one another to create success. And so we are very grateful to have such amazing people within this room and being able to, now that we have all met and now that we have all engaged, being able to really just pick up the phone and call a friend for some support. And so entrepreneurs, please make sure to also support one another along this journey. I know that there are some entrepreneurs as well that are joining us from some of the other regions as well, and it would be great to grow your network as well. And so as we close out on the event and have our final sort of remarks come through, I would like to welcome our closing remarks that will be coming from Asmin Khan, who is the Manager of Operations for the World Bank in Southern Africa. And Ms. Khan has worked for the World Bank for over 25 years with operational and corporate assignments in East and South Asia, based in Indonesia, Thailand, Cambodia, and India. Asmin, thank you very much for joining us today and sharing your wealth of knowledge with us. I would like to hand over to you for our closing remarks.
Yeah, I think I'm unmuted. Can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you clearly.
Good. Like, I'm not very familiar with Zoom, but listen, this is my third event that I've been sitting in on. I sat in on the Namibia and Eswatini events, and I must say the energy in this event was very high. So first, thanks to everybody in the room and online for creating a very dynamic event. I want to start off by thanking all the people who made this happen, particularly the Minister of Trade, the Permanent Secretary of Trade, whom we just heard from, Nonseba, you for kind of doing a wonderful job hosting these events. Then I've got a long list over here of Michelle, Catherine, John and Grace, our judges, David, who just spoke. I mean, you know, it does take a whole village to put one of these things together. And let's not forget our entrepreneurs who pitched at the event. It was really exciting listening to them. And I have a particular fondness for organizations that teach women to code, because teaching girls to code and getting more women into tech and being entrepreneurs is just so vital for making this ecosystem work. And, you know, I kept hearing the word ecosystem over and over again. And, you know, we need to break it down and say, what is it all about? It's about all the bits that need to come together to make the entrepreneurship environment work, whether it's government policy, whether it's the financing, whether it's the teaching people how to put together a business plan and to pitch. And, you know, we've got to also realize that you need to think big. Don't just think about Lesotho as your catchment area. Think about the whole region. Think about South Africa. Come up with products that can be scaled. I think that's really important as well. I'm really glad that we're able to finance the cafe project in Lesotho, because that hopefully will provide some of the environment for people to come together and learn the tips of the trade of how to be an entrepreneur, and also get access to early seed financing for their great ideas. I mean, this event is very timely because yesterday we just launched a survey of young Lesotho's aspirations and challenges. And two things really struck me is that 45% of youth between the ages of 15 to 25 are either unemployed or not even in education. And 70% of youth aspire to be entrepreneurs. So I think the environment is rife. There's this huge group of youth out there who want to become entrepreneurs. How do we provide the support that's needed to get them going? And I think this platform provides one venue to get them on the first step to becoming an online or a tech entrepreneur, or coming up with a great business idea that can be scaled. So again, thank you everyone for all the hard work that's gone into making this happen. Thank you to the entrepreneurs for, it takes a lot of courage and effort and training to be able to stand up and pitch. And I wish we could have given them all a bit more time. I think we all ran out of time during the pitch events. So maybe we want to think about maybe adding a few more minutes. But I think Grace and others made the point, you've got to be very clear about what you're pitching for. What is that extra 30,000 or whatever you're asking for going to make the difference on? What is the key gap in the market that you've identified? And I think that's where everybody has good ideas. You know, I sit every day in my office thinking about, I want to be an entrepreneur, I've got all these great ideas, but it ain't that easy. So no matter what you think you can do better, it's not that easy. So for these entrepreneurs who in the past 3 sessions in all the countries have stood up and done these pitches, thank you so much for having the courage to do it. And finally, thank you to our sponsors, because I think having that extra data and that help with setting up the websites will be fantastic for scaling up their projects. So let me not hold you up from your lunch, but again, thank you to all the key people involved in making this such a great event. Thank you again.
Great. Thank you very much, Yasmin. And thank you once again to everyone that did join us today. I would just like to reiterate, we did hear this earlier from Catherine, but it does really take an ecosystem to raise an entrepreneur. So thank you very much to this ecosystem and the community that has joined us today in celebrating our entrepreneurial talent across the region. Thank you to all of the entrepreneurs as well for sharing your talents, your skills, your experience, and your work with us today. Please make sure to follow all of the stakeholders and partners on social media platforms, sign up for their newsletters, keep up to date with the potential programs, and make sure that you're using the resources, knowledge, and networks information that is shared on the IBP platform as well as the Thinkubate platform. And once again, thank you very much to everyone that has attended. I don't want to keep you any longer. I know we have gone over time. So I do hope you enjoy the rest of your afternoon and have a great day. Thanks, everyone, and congratulations.
Thank you.